Good morning, internets. It is a very warm morning here in Las Vegas. It is 75 degrees out, and I am starting out with 37 miles battery-only range in the 2012 Chevy Volt Premium, for those of you keeping score at home. As the weather warms up, I'm having better and better range in the mornings. I'm not starting out the morning with, 32 or 35 miles, and right now it says 37. Although some of you told me not to rely on the guessometer and to go look at the actual hard numbers in my computer here, and it looks like I am getting every bit of the 40-mile battery-only range on this thing. It's just that I do so many highway miles that my little guessometer doesn't know what to make of that. And so let's move on. By popular demand, I have switched from tea to coffee. Made myself a big batch of iced coffee with too much sugar in it this morning. So let's talk about the new Infiniti. All right, so Infiniti, which is of course a branch of Nissan, it's like Nissan's Highline, is coming out with an all-electric Q based on the Q series. Their new concept for this thing is sexy. It is stunning. It is super, super good. It does not look anything like a Q to me. My sister actually drives a Q in northern Nevada and loves it. Cannot say enough about it. It's built on, I believe, the Nissan Pathfinder platform. It's just got, premium level trim and a couple other things that make it a little extra special, make it an Infiniti instead of a Nissan. And it's this big, boxy, every bit sport utility, not a crossover, sport utility, and nothing mid-size about it. And this new Q, if you go and look it up, it looks more like a sedan to me, but like a big one. But the body lines on it are absolutely gorgeous. I haven't been able to find anything about it, like the range or top speed or any other wacky things that they're going to be doing with it. And part of the reason for that is that this is so new, and part of the reason for that is that they have no intentions of releasing this vehicle in America. Once again, we have an auto manufacturer that I respect and admire and would buy cars from. Nissan doesn't make a bad car. Like, you guys know this, right? Like, they might make cars that you don't like or that you don't want, but if you have something that's made by Nissan, chances are it's extremely reliable. It's very consistent in its performance. It doesn't give you problems. When it does give you problems, it doesn't cost an absolute fortune to fix. And Nissan's good about that. I mean, just a year ago, I was trying to hunt down a Nissan Xterra, and the problem with the Xterra is that they're so good that people are not parting with them, so they've retained a good deal of their value. So even one with over 100,000 miles on it was just unreasonably priced, and that's just how good that particular vehicle is, but that's also how good Nissan is. And now with this Infiniti, all I can think is, yay, Nissan's making an electric car that's going to be, if it's all of the things that Nissan is, if it's all of the things that I've come to understand and enjoy and love about Nissan, which is that they take a licking and keep on ticking, and they're just really, really good cars, then this should be a really, really good electric car. And the styling on the concept, now we all know that what is concept does not always make it onto the road. In fact, almost never makes it onto the road. But I really hope they don't change this thing too much from the concept art and everything I've been able to see so far. It looks like a really gorgeous vehicle. And I wish I had more to say about it other than we don't get it and China does. And this thing that China's doing, where they are eliminating internal combustion engines for consumer vehicles in order to respond to the air quality crisis that they have, and it's pushing manufacturers to create electric cars. Here in America, we say, we have a lot of people that say, like, oh, the technology's just not there yet, or oh, nobody makes electric car. Yeah, the hell they do. Volkswagen's going to be making 300 new electric cars. They're going to take all of the cars that they already have and slap electric drivetrains into them and make electric versions of the Jetta, of the Passat, of so many other of the CC, so many of these cars. They're just going to make them electric and sell them in China because China commands that kind of presence. They command that kind of attention. And they're the biggest market. So they have a demand in place, and manufacturers are rising to meet the challenge. America, when are we going to start demanding electric cars? When are we going to start demanding electric infrastructure to compete? We're getting left in the dust. There's all of these companies that are making really beautiful electric cars, and they have no intention of selling them to you or me. They have no intention of selling them to Americans. These are cars that are not going to end up on American roads. They're not going to come here and solve American problems. They're not going to end up on American vlogs because they're not here. They're not here. They're going to be in China. And yay, China, good for you guys. Really respect what they're doing to try to eliminate internal combustion. I don't feel so bad about it. Like here, if we were to outlaw internal combustion engines, that would be super sad for me because I am such a classic car enthusiast and I love all cars. I have no bias. I love them all. It would be sad if something like that happened here, and we'd have a lot to lose. We have a lot of car culture to lose here with something like that. China does not have the nostalgia associated with the 6.4 Impala. That's not something that China is going to miss out on. China does not have the Chevy Bel Air. China does not have Hot August Nights in my hometown. China doesn't have any of that stuff. So, like, think of your favorite classic Chinese car. The really, really good-looking classic Asian automobile. Go ahead, I'll wait. Yeah, so you can't because there aren't any. So when they're like, yeah, we're going to get rid of all the gas-burning cars and go all electric, and the people are like, yay, that's fine. Here, there would be quite an uproar. I don't think that we could do the same thing and just outright outlaw internal combustion. But, God, there's got to be something else we could be doing to encourage new manufacturers. We're already encouraging electric vehicle purchasers, people who purchase them, because you get the tax incentive for purchasing a new car, as long as that remains intact. But you don't have there's no incentives for the manufacturers to keep providing them, and if there are, it's not enough. It's not enough. And for me, in my mind, it comes down to demand. People are not demanding these things enough, and most people don't even know that it's an option. Most people don't know that there are hybrids and electric versions of a lot of their favorite cars. A lot of people don't know about the Ford Fusion hybrid. A lot, people that are getting between $900 and $1,200 or $900 and $1,200 miles out of a tank on a car like that. Like, that's okay. You don't like all electric? Well, let's look into some hybrid options. Let's look into some other things that might be options here. And I look at this Infiniti Q that they're talking about making in the all electric, and they're going to do it, and it's going to sell, and it's going to sell well. It's a beautiful car. Nissan has a great reputation, known for reliability. Actually, I have a story about a Nissan. A family member of mine, Kelly, that drove a Nissan Altima absolutely to death. Like, put over 250,000 miles on the thing, and God, it seemed like by the time the car finally gave up the ghost, it was in California. She had driven it from Las Vegas to Disneyland, and it finally died out there. But it was just years of this particular car, and it just, like, the exterior of it was hammered, the interior of it was hammered, and every time we'd see the car, we'd be like, Kelly, you need a new car. And she'd be like, no, I love the Altima. No, you will not take my baby. And this thing was such a piece, and it didn't matter to her. She loved that car because it just kept on going. It just kept on going. And, like, you can't say anything about a car like that. Like, what's going to be wrong with that? And that was the reliability and the staying power of an old beat up Nissan. Can you imagine a new one with that's all electric, with the electric drivetrain, where there's not a whole bunch of greasy parts, there's nothing exploding on the inside of it? The maintenance issues that you have in a vehicle that's literally blowing up all of the time, like, we have pressure issues, you have oil issues, you got temp issues, you got gasketing issues, you got coolant issues. There's so many things to go wrong on the inside of an internal combustion engine. I know, seen it, been elbow deep in quite a few, and it's this confluence of things that are antithetical to the survival of the block, that are just the opposite of good for all of the parts involved. things are blowing up. Things are getting very, very hot, and then they're cooling down, and they're getting very, very hot, and then they're cooling down. You got these temperatures all over the place. You got lots and lots and lots of moving parts. You have a lot of friction. You have metal on metal and oil all over the place in order to grease and lube all these parts. And internal combustion just is not the way to go if you want sustainability, but also if you want reliability. Electric motors are more reliable. The motor is not the thing that's going to give out on you. It's not. You'll deal with bearings in the wheels. You'll deal with tires. You'll deal with a lot of things before you ever deal with the motor of an electric car, because they are so simple. There's so much less to go wrong there. So, like, why would you not? Like, put that together with the fact that this Infiniti is, and it's going to be made by Nissan. It's going to be the unkillable car, and I'm super excited to see the numbers that come out about it. I want to know its 0 to 60. I want to know its range naturally. I want to know what kind of batteries they put in it. What's the charge time on those batteries? What kind of infrastructure do you need to support this car? I want to know all that stuff. But for the time being, it's gonna be an excellent car. I already know that. Now, I know I was skeptical about a lot of the stuff that Volkswagen was doing, but I have some personal experience. Like, my personal experience with Volkswagen is very different than my personal experience with Nissan. And you know, I have Kelly that drove the Altima and loved it, and my sister that drives her Q up in northern Nevada, which is, it gets hot and dusty and windy in the summer, and it gets cold and snowy and slushy, and then they salt the roads in the winter. She deals with inclines. She takes it camping. She goes up into the high Sierra with her family in this thing. They can get off trail in order to go find a campsite in the Q, and just, she loves it. She worked construction for a number of years and was taking this thing around to different sites. I mean, it's the most amazing vehicle. And it's an old Nissan, or an old Infiniti Q, and she loves it. And when I was shopping around for a new car, saying, I want an Xterra, I actually told her, I'm like, I want an Xterra. She goes, get a Q. Get a Q. You get the extra space, you get the extra luxury, and it's going to be every bit as reliable as your Xterra, only it's going to be easier to find parts for, because all the parts are Pathfinder parts, and it's easier to get Pathfinder parts than it is to get Xterra parts. Get a Q. Quit messing around. Get a Q. And I was like, damn, Lauren, all right. She was very insistent about it, and you know, she had a good point. I mean, the thing had been working well for her, and this new thing they're calling the Q, man, it may not look like a Q, but that's the line that they're going to run it under. So, like, I don't know, guys. I'm very excited about this thing, but it's, at the same time, I'm also disappointed because I'm not going to see it here because it's for China. If anybody at Nissan is watching this, please sell a car in America. We'll buy them. We will. We love them. We love the electric cars, and we love Nissan. Please bring it here. Please, 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 please. And I think that's going to do it for me today, guys. Have any of you had some experience with Nissan? Have any of you owned or driven anything from Nissan, anything from Infiniti? I really want to know. Let me know in the comments down below what that experience was like. Has anybody had a bad experience with Nissan? I have not, and I don't know anybody who has either. I don't know anybody who has anything bad to say about Nissan, and the couple of mechanics I know say, oh, yeah, Nissan. I know mechanics that drive Nissans because they don't want to have to go home and work on their own crap, and you never have to work on a Nissan. Those are pretty ringing endorsements as far as I'm concerned. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about Nissan, about Infiniti. What do you guys think? Do you guys get bummed out like I do when you hear about a new electric car and then find out that it's not going to be here, that it's going to be in China? Do you take that a little personal? Like, aw, we're EVers too. Like, do you feel left out? I feel left out of the sandbox on that one. It's sort of disappointing. So I want to know how you guys feel about that. I think that's going to about do it for me today, guys. It's a long day. I've got all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and we'll get more on that later, but try to get through it. Everybody keep smiling, keep having a good day, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. So if you've enjoyed watching this video, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing right over here. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Here's some other things I think you'll enjoy right down here. My name is Katherine with EVs of Nevada. Please remember to like, subscribe, and smile.